Welcome to Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Tim Strachan.
What's going on, everybody? Looking forward to a great night. We got a guy named Charlie with us, apparently. We're going to have maybe video clips. I mean, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, Charlie's with us.
I
Forgot about Charlie. Kevin Ricca.
Charlie always leaves his mark, but what are we doing here? How did we get here? I'm looking forward to this one tonight, though. Some cool stuff to talk about finally. A little bit of actual ball-ish, and it was fun.
I also want to just thank Ken Harris for joining me in the chat room. I was feeling really lonely for a while, so
I was about to.
Ken, I appreciate that, bud.
It's good for you guys to meet in different chat rooms than the normal ones, also. So I'm glad for you guys.
I totally set that
Spread
up.
it around.
That was good. That was a great 1999 reference right there, bud.
Yeah.
Chat rooms
I'm just saying.
on AOL dial-up.
The old chat room.
That terrible signal.
EO is going, but EO changes. He's
It confuses
now
me.
he's there.
That's
J
a lot
Dubs,
easier.
Ken
when it just
Harris.
says-
Welcome to Timothy Strachan, who's also on the board tonight. So thank God it's Tuesday.
That guy sucks.
1 week of preseason football over. I'm not a bitter guy or negative guy at all, but it is. I feel compelled to say, well, I welcome the return football, and I watched every second of it, and I loved, and I wanted to win the game, and the manner in which the contest of the game ended, we didn't need that. I didn't need that. I didn't need to see us lose, by a field goal at the buzzer, again.
Did you throw your hat?
No, I was disappointed. But I'm just saying.
That's okay. You can be disappointed.
I'm
trying to teach my son not to throw.
I think you got sound on.
Trying to teach my son not to throw his hat when he loses a game, like in Mario Kart.
Everything's fine. There's nothing wrong about anything. It's just
you held it in check.
it's like the same old thing.
I didn't give one ball about that.
I know.
Yes.
I know. It's
You
just
want to win.
and that's fine. It's not even. I don't even want to win for any good reasons or anything. I just don't want to see us lose the same way.
It doesn't mean anything. I know that.
It doesn't.
But you want to win.
It doesn't. I've seen every
I
kicker
agree. You always want to win,
in the world.
but
When
I
they
was
just
like,
walk it
I
out.
wanted to win, but we didn't. The one ball thing was not an exaggeration.
No, that's right. That's right.
I
It's a feeling thing. It's not a football thing. It's just I've watched that game. Guess what else didn't really truly matter? Week 16 many times over the last 20 years.
Both those coaches got together and actually play by play schemed exactly how this whole game was going to go.
Yep.
So I didn't care. It was an acted out theatrics.
Of course, just glorified practice. Glorified practice
with no scheming up. Everyone was playing base coverage and getting after a little bit. Fine, that's fine. So that's why.
Of course, that's all fine. It's just again, ball goes through the uprights, fade to black. We lose by a field goal. Whatever. It's fine.
Focus on the start. Just focus on the start.
Let's start. I'll tell you what. Out of respect for one of our best players, really in a long time, and over a long period of time, I'll play this one video for us.
He's just been itching to put.
I just want to play it because
you should have. You already did that.
What's that?
Didn't you already do that?
Didn't I already do what?
In the year 2 AD.
Of course.
He's got it.
Gotta take that off. All right. Where are we?
He's going to the number one highlight of the game, Kev.
Slow mo. Number 5. Square up. Form
10.
Tackle.
Number 10.
Sorry, you're right.
Wraps up both the
But this is the best part right here.
Dan Quinn loves it. The whole sideline went nuts. It's a good tackle. It's an open field tackle.
Yeah, it's a great tackle. He played rugby, didn't he?
But still, and he did it right in front of Frank Louvu, and Frank Louvu. There he is. By the way, he looks so much fun to watch. Number 4. It's going to be so crazy. All right, so we'll
but what we're not getting is the video of Dan Quinn saying it's amazing how loved this guy is just as a leader on the football team, not as a punter, but as a dude, a teammate, a leader of the team. I love it. It was great. It was the touchy-feely part of the game.
See?
Yeah, it hit the heartstrings a little bit.
Everything means a little. I'm allowing you know what? Because we're allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. Kevin
we have moments when we watch football. Yes. I'm sorry, you can't have moments in the preseason. I don't know what's wrong with you. But
I have been having moments.
You should have emotions at all times.
I've been having moments watching the Olympics, not in the preseason though. The preseason is like, just don't get hurt, guys.
Don't get hurt.
Let's install what we got to. This is more exciting than any preseason than any year of past. I'll give you that. And I'm not poo-pooing it. I haven't said anything negative.
That's okay.
I like how we went at it in this scrimmage, and it's here we go. But yes, I got a little lumped up. Those Olympics got me a bunch. I was like, what is wrong with
What was the most
the
lumped up
parents that get
moment?
me now.
Basketball?
Basketball was incredible. When Steph Curry put him to sleep after 4 straight, I couldn't even like. I've always loved when the superheroes get together and play that way, that style. They share the ball, and they got caught up against a couple tough teams, and they played their asses off. Down 17 to come back, Serbia. That was bonkers. But
The falling backwards, throw it up straight in the air one. There's a great picture of that coming from his right.
Wemby?
And he's going down and the Durant and James
Yes.
didn't have anyone
wide
within a mile of him, and Steph Curry was like, I'm still just gonna go circus style.
And credit to those 2 defenders. They knew they both had to try and get there to do something. You can leave those 2 open after they just seen 3 in a row go down, and they were talking to him from the stands. And it was good for him. It was just so cool how that transpired, man.
Good for us, good for us.
I loved it.
Because everyone keeps saying like the world is catching up, and I'm like, we lost the bronze in 2008. We've got gold every other year since 92 or whatever. Come on. But I did see a really cool. I think it was in the Washington Post. Or it was somewhere. I saw it somewhere where they talked about all the French talent that's coming up that we'll play against in the next Olympics. I mean, we're gonna have our guys too, but
let's go. It's in LA.
They're gonna have a squad.
Part 2, LA.
And how good is Wemby?
He's spectacular.
He's worth the price, any price of admission.
He's bonkers. And when he can just take the ball off the rim and in international rules, he just sits there flat-footed. He's like, I'll take that.
Better.
He's nuts.
Do you prefer the international rules? Or you?
What I prefer is how they let them play. They beat the ever-living dog shit out of each other on every possession. 5 fouls each and have at it. They didn't call any tic-tac stuff. They didn't take any BS with the complaining. I like that. It's man against man, and that helped us because LeBron was the main man, and Steph was the sniper man, and KD. Oh God, that was a ton of fun.
Booker was a little bit of a secret sauce, I thought, but like
if Embiid could box out, we would have won that thing clearly. But then he'd go back down to the other end and make a 3. You're like, God, this guy.
Yeah.
But
Olympics. Any forget about breakdancing. We're never going to see that again. Is there a sport?
My eyes cannot unsee what I've seen.
Well, it's not. It's gone. It's never. They've already said it's not coming back. What's the sport they need to add?
What's the sport they need?
Oh, to add? Oh no, I just was loving handball.
Penguin style.
Love handball.
Sledding.
Penguin style sledding.
That's a winner sport.
All right.
Yeah,
You know what?
I agree. T excels.
I only say that because I had a chance.
Yes. He could have been a contender. If we had a few more cold winters around here, he'd have more training. But it just didn't go that way for us.
Worst job in the world, penguin style sled
lacrosse
catcher.
Is going in next time. So
you're sitting at the bottom of the hill in that penguin style sled.
Lacrosse would have been a sport that would.
Lacrosse is going into the Olympics.
It's going into the Olympics. It's going to be 6s, right? 6s.
I'm pretty sure they're bringing it in there somewhere.
This is very confusing.
Bowling,
lacrosse,
ball, Western,
men and women's both.
Men's for sure. I would like to think that in 2020.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
The women will also be invited.
The Olympics just kind of blows my mind. Like, how are all these countries going to find all these white people to form a lacrosse team?
It's not going to be easy, but they will figure it out a way.
Sorry to all the black lacrosse players out there. I apologize for my friend Kevin.
No, I didn't mean that in any black-white. I've been to 100 lacrosse games. And
You've also been to the Bahamas a million times, and you never saw a lacrosse game break out.
I watched the game of cricket.
Yeah,
I did. A live game of cricket. It was awesome.
Let's get back to
game
the game.
Played.
Let's get back to the game.
In New York.
Great tackle, by the way.
No. It was a great tackle.
No Aaron Rodgers, which whatever. I always just love a chance to see him play. That was never going to happen. The first opening drive by our offense was awesome. Jaden Daniel. It wasn't like he looked like a Hall of Famer great or anything. It was just It was real nice.
You know how jacked up he was on that first little dump off pass? I mean, we all been there.
Oh,
for
of course.
First
That's the first thing I thought. And he was smiling.
Oh, yeah.
God bless him for that. That made me fall in love with him right away.
That's when you do it. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. But he didn't take it like a maniac. He just was like, well, got that one out. How about I chuck this 42 piece in the screen call and then tell everyone it's because Cliff said I could if everyone was 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. That's fun shit.
Yeah.
And then we'll go hand the ball to Mom after I glide in. I think we got to look at what type of athlete he is.
Whoa. Let's go to probably the play of the game, which was on that drive, which was the fade to De'Ami Brown.
That's what he's talking about. Yeah,
I'm sorry, De'Ami. I take it back. You proved it. Now you just got to keep proving it. I mean, dude, balled out. Had the best game of his career. And that play right there was like, okay, all right.
Well, he also applies himself in the run game as a physical blocker. And apparently he's running down on specials. And like you said, DQ said he's going for it. And I heard that loud and clear.
I think he's done a ton in the offseason. And Terry McLaurin was talking today about how he worked with him how to get off the line. He was getting tied up on the line too much. That throws your route off. You're not concentrating right. If you can get off the line in this league, then you can do so much more. Hopefully that's the stuff that's working off for him because he knows it's either do it now or you ain't doing it anymore. And he's right now playing like he doesn't want to stop, which I think is really important for him.
Well, I guess we're going to talk about the receivers for a minute if it's up to you. So.
Yeah, no, I Terry obviously not going anywhere. Jahan Dotson not blowing anyone's skirts up just quite yet this
not
offseason.
Mine, not ours. Listen, we all like him, and we all think he is going to be able to. And I understand we need to develop talent around here. We can't just draft it and pluck these guys at $4 million a pop and win every time. We have to develop it as well. That's the middle tier. And so I'm not saying I'm done with him, but I think they want to see more from him in the run game. To be honest, I think it's not even the physical production. I think he's not been a factor in what we're trying to accomplish, which is beat your ass. At every spot on the football field. I think that's what we are trying to accomplish. And I don't think they like his actions so far in the run game. And his production in the passing game has been home also. So he's going to have to start A, making plays, or B, sacrificing his body a bit. According to the coaches, I'm not saying I see that. I'm just reading between the lines here, fellas.
I like the fact that he's a player that we're not worried about hurting anyone's feelings. He's on a first-round draft pick contract. This is his third? This will be his third year. Yeah. Sometimes it's the magic year for receivers, whatever. But we have him for next to nothing for another couple of years. He's a talented guy, but the way that De'Ami Brown is playing so physically on special teams, then he makes that 42-yard catch, and he's also a lot more physical than Jahan Dotson in the run blocking game, and it's not hard to imagine that there's a legitimate competition for meaningful snaps this season between De'Ami Brown and Jahan Dotson right now.
Especially when De'Ami Brown is checking all the boxes that they laid out right in front of us for the players what they want from these guys. So, shit.
And I also think they're hiding Luke McCaffrey, but that's a conspiracy theory.
I think he's in a battle right now as well, and I think it very well could also come down to the point where
he's in that battle
on the midday.
Because him and they both got all the snaps.
Yeah.
Man. Yep. Both those two got all the snaps. So, but maybe not even just inside with Luke. They're talking about moving him anywhere and everywhere. So just him battling to get on the field right now. And listen, there's a nepotism-ist type scenario going on with him. The relationship's pre-existing with the McCaffrey family through Adam Peters and San Fran and the whole nine. And so get out there and earn it yourself. I think they're saying you got to go and do this. And I think he's another guy that he's been good, but hasn't been great. And those two are getting thrown out into the fire, and he said he's going to do it again this week. We'll see what happens.
I love Luke McCaffrey. I do think he's going to be a big time contributor for us right away.
I agree.
Sinnott got 3 catches for 50 something yards. 80% of which were
started off a
yards
slow.
after catch. It was like 40 out of 50 yards was the yards
graded
after catch.
Graded as the highest draft pick this past week.
Highest offensive draft choice.
Yeah.
Well, I whatever that. It's still
started
cool.
Off
it's
slow.
Cool.
He started off slow. It seemed we were typing him up. We were like, he wouldn't get a whole lot of headlines, but maybe he's a gamer, dude. That just needs that energy.
I love that you wrote that.
Needs that energy. Needs that sort of feel to really shine. And dude, did he shine? That's great for his first time out there. That's awesome. That's huge for us.
Well, yeah, it's considering it's a position we need somebody to play above average at, and we haven't had that guy materialize at all.
Ertz is pulling his weight right now, too.
Sure. And I think you're going to see Ertz and Sinnott on the field together a lot.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, no one said anything bad about Sinnott. We just didn't hear anything about Sinnott. And we were like, why are we hearing anything about Sinnott?
He had
we
a
would
few
like
drops.
to hear some stuff about Sinnott.
Yeah, he had some drops in the first couple practices, and people seemed to be a little bit disappointed in it, but he turned it around.
When he was carrying that pack, it's like, all right, you know what? We had guys that did that when we grew up. Cooley did it. And what else? Who else? We had to carry the pack. You know what I mean? Who else was just carrying like 4 dudes like Mark Bavaro style back in the freaking 80s? So whatever it is,
Frank Wycheck.
Sinnott looked like a badass. Yeah, Frankie W. did that. He did that as a Terp, and he did that as a pro.
Yep.
And at Archbishop Ryan in Philadelphia
right.
Catholic High School, he did that there too.
Sinnott being a valuable member of our team earlier in the season, I mean that's our best chance to have to be in contention for anything by the end of the season. If guys like Sinnott are producing, because that's upgrade over what we had last year. It's upgrade in our overall franchise. To not have a hole at tight end, Kev.
He's so exciting to pair him with Jaden Daniels. This is also exciting. I don't care how. I think we're going to be way better than we were last year. I don't care about all that. Like the same thing Dan Quinn said about Jaden Daniels. We're not preparing him for a preseason or a great season. We're preparing him for a great career. I think they're doing the same thing from top to bottom in the whole entire franchise for us, the fans. We're not just trying to have a great preseason or a great one season right now. We're trying to rectify the bullshit we've had to deal with for 20 years and start this franchise over from scratch.
And look at the best teams, right? You got Kansas City, San Francisco, Philadelphia. What do they all have? A quarterback tight end combo.
Damn
what
right.
Did we see how that gets started? It's got started in New England. We saw it down in Tampa. If you have that combo, you've got a serious offense.
And you have to draft that tight end. I believe all those tight ends were drafted by Kelsey was drafted by the Chiefs. Kittle was drafted by the Niners, and who was the third one?
Goddard.
Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, Dallas Goddard was drafted by the Eagles. I think it's so important that you draft a tight end, because by the time a tight end like that comes up for free agency, like the wear and tear on tight ends. I mean, I always say it. I think it's the most dangerous job, really. I think they're just so overextended and unprotected in the middle of the field, and they're gigantic. But you got to get them. You got to get them between the ages of 22 and 26.
And if you look at it, the production year in, year out, there's 5 to 6 tight ends that have tremendous production, and then the rest seem to fall by the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the top 8 at the
They're
most.
hard to come by.
They're very hard to come by.
Hard to come
That's
by.
why when you pair them up, like you talked about in the championship teams, we talked about it, the teams that went to the Super Bowl. Like it's like, let's start right now and figure this out the right way. And it seems to be we're doing it the right way with Ertz here to look out for young Sinnott and teach him the ways of the tight end.
I was lucky in high school to have a great tight end in Woolridge. It taught me how important that position can be because of the matchups, because of where they're positioned, how you can use them. It's such a strategic position, not to mention what they do in the running game as well.
Well, I got to give Vinny Morin a shout out because we ran power pass touchdowns for him 6 times in one season. It's different when a guy can run.
Yep.
And he could get out and he ran perfect routes. He was a bit of an undersized tight end, but he was our speed demon. And we'd run power 5 times with him because he was tough enough to make the block, and that 6th time he's gone. It's the same thing. It's football. It's the same thing in this league.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to give a shout out to Billy Cannon, because Woozer Barch plowed over him on an early Saturday morning game of football. I think Billy was about 4 or 5 inches into the earth as Woozer ran past him to maul me. But yeah, so Billy Cannon, good job, buddy.
Good job, counselor.
We got to take some bad with the good, and the offensive line still, let's just say, is an unfinished product. We can comment on what we saw, what we thought, but at the end of the day, we sure got to get better.
There is absolutely no possible way we could expect them to be a polished looking unit at this point. They look like they're supposed to look like. They look like everyone's fucking O-line look like for preseason. So, but I have high hopes for them. I think we are quick. I think we are physical, tough at a different level than we have been. I think we're going to be a little bit more aggressive in the run game at the line of scrimmage. We're going to smack you in the mouth a little bit more and try to. Well, we're going to be able to scheme you up as well. We're going to run both sides of that wheel. But I really enjoyed the effort we got. They got to play together. We got to get healthy, of course.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. But I like the effort we got. I want to see Brennan Coleman though.
I want to see Brandon Coleman. We got to see more of him.
When you have 3 tackles out, it's tough sledding.
I'll put it this way: we got more answers than I expected to get, and we still have a lot of question marks that need to be worked out.
But 3 tackles out, that's going to set you back at a bunch of spots. I mean, Jones is playing right tackle. He's been getting a majority of his snaps at guard. But we already talked about it, the shuffling. You got to have guys that can be able to play multiple spots.
Some part of me thinks that that Allegretti is going to be an upgrade over the experience we had last year, but like I just don't have a ton of confidence in, just because our track record with some of these guys we've signed over the last few years.
The thing about him though is he's a mauler.
Yeah.
So if he misses, at least the next time he's going to make it. Like he's not
that's
someone who's
true.
just going to get beat on his heels, and we're going to be. He's a
strong.
guy that
He's very strong.
and he is. He's a big one in there. You're not going to root him out. We gave him a 3-year deal. This is a guy that I think he's a pro's pro at guard. Is he going to be in a Pro Bowl? No. He's a nasty dude. He's a John Madden type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a grunt. He's an old school hog type guard, to be honest with you. So let's give him a chance to meld and get in there, and let's let these guys work together. This is our starting 5 up there, and they've never done this before until what we just saw, and they didn't do it at any level.
And we didn't really,
there's no chance.
Run anything,
No, but that's fine.
We're
We're
getting a lot of ads. Is that that's what the board is saying? I don't.
Yeah.
We'll get to
I'm
the
just
bottom of
sharing
that.
in the misery.
I would love.
We
to
have no
know.
control. I don't know what
I don't even think we could turn them off.
Do they come on Red or other?
Red Coral does
Red
not
Coral?
have ads during. Actually, I don't know how they break that up, because it's for free, so they are ad supported. But I think you watch the ads beforehand.
It's good to know.
I don't know. We'll have our AGH. I apologize, but then again, I think you might be getting more ads over there in Wales, because we know that audience is looking for some ideas, things to buy, and that's what we're here for.
Just don't buy any of that Temu stuff.
I can't believe you didn't say anything about you don't want to have a hole at tight end. That was nothing. You didn't come back. You had a hole at tight end, and you just let it go. Right on by you.
Because that had to do with Charlie being called for offsides previously this evening.
False start.
It was a 5-yard penalty. Beep.
Unnecessary roughness.
Ew.
Oh, it was necessary.
Totally unnecessary.
Oh, Manner Speaking has a trick to no ads shared for everybody. It's got it there. On the defensive side, again, the guys who I'm really looking forward to seeing the most weren't really all out there very long, if at all. Number 4 is a guy who I just can't wait to watch him play 60 minutes. He looks like kind of a badass. And
Kind of.
But he still played a huge role in the game, just being there for everybody, kind of being around, and the way he got interviewed and what he said. I mean, it was awesome.
He's a ball of energy, on fire and coming downhill. He's gonna be he's a badass amongst badasses.
Yes, alpha. He's an alpha.
And we have 2 of them now. We got both of it. Bobby Wagner.
Yep.
And I hope McGee is all right. Little knee injury. I haven't heard anything. Maybe if anyone, I heard.
I didn't hear that it was bad.
Day to day, he only played like 6 or 7 snaps. That's a dude.
Yep.
Learning from Bobby Wagner, but he could be an alpha. Right now, he's just a pup, but he could get there.
Yep.
But right now, Frankie Louvu he plays for our team.
Yep.
Oh.
In front of
With Payne and
Chin.
Allen, yeah, with Chin coming downhill. We got some mean, nasty dudes. We really do.
I want to talk about one of the rookies that stood out. I thought Sanderson looked great, especially that one where he kind of tracked him across the field and was like a freaking heat nickel.
Why is he such a great athlete? He plays.
I love defenders
so
that play
fluidly.
that
Me too.
tough.
Me too. I love him. I said I knew you guys were gonna love him. You guys agree?
Guys you'd hate to
you
play
already
against
did.
because it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I would always be like, how does Arizona get what's his name? Freaking the badass
Buda
from
Baker?
LSU. No, well, yes, but also
Honey Badger?
The Honey Badger.
Yes.
He's got a. Now, Honey Badger's more hard nosed up there, and St. Ristol's more of a cover. I mean, he will cover your ass.
He doesn't.
He'll bring it
You don't
too.
lose him. You can't
He'll
lose
bring
him.
it too.
And you heard him get interviewed? He's a brilliant cat talking about learning from everything. He's just
And he wants to play offense.
People are learning from
He's
him.
lobbying for it.
I'm convinced pretty early on that if he has if they should have at least a couple plays for him, 2 plays. Just come on, have 2 plays. Direct snap being one of them. I don't know.
The old direct snap.
The old direct snap.
To the 5'8" DB.
How do you draw that up on the whiteboard? Be like
On
this guy,
hike.
this guy.
On hike.
On hike. Down, set, hike. Hike.
Ready, set, hike.
Go long.
Great news, Andrew. McGee is day to day. Yeah.
Special
That's over.
teams. I mean,
This is the interesting part of the whole conversation to me.
the kicker competition rages on.
All right, not so much that part.
The new kickoff rule, we saw it with our guys on the field.
The cameras missed it
I like
multiple
it. It's
times.
cool, but
The
I
cameras
like
kept
it.
missing it.
I know.
Every time I missed it or the cameras missed it.
They have to fix that. Obviously, the field goal situation was not fun.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. It's so and like you can't have like a really awesome defense, a brand new 22-year-old, average age offense who's just learning their way and not be able to give your defense some like 39-yarders throughout the season.
Oh,
when they actually might mean the difference between winning and losing.
Just because McManus got grab-assy. What a turd.
Oh, McManus.
What a terrible dick.
I can't. What a terrible dick.
Great
I
way to put
mean,
it.
he just ruined it for everybody. This is North. By the way,
Mostly the stewardesses.
this is
but-
North Turner.
Exactly. No, that's the terrible dick part. But then now we're sitting here like, I mean, what a terrible guy. Like your actions crush that human being and whoever else he's probably done it to. And
I thought he was a bad guy just for that, obviously. But then
But
you
it's
add
just so
on.
douchey. Like, come on, man. Take it easy.
Then
Kicker.
you ruin a whole season because you can't keep your hands to yourself.
It's gross.
All right, so we're screwed in the moment. Maybe a kicker becomes available. Usually there's 33 or 34 guys who could probably do it. Maybe 31. We usually get that 32nd, 33rd guy, but someone will get cut and they'll be on a plane to our
Exactly what'll happen.
place quickly.
Because we can't get any of these other turds.
No.
They stink. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
But the other special team stuff was cool.
Tress Way. We saw the video.
Damn right.
Open field tackle.
I thought the snaps were crazy. Some of the guys you see that
Crazy
were trying
good?
to this
Crazy bad.
listen, Dominique Hampton, the safety we drafted, 13 snaps on special teams.
Yep.
Michael Walker, backup linebacker that we signed specifically for special teams. It kind of shows you, I think, the lean in some of these maybe position battles.
Yeah.
And I like knowing that. I like knowing that. And
He was the dude that had the first tackle on special teams, right?
he was a badass.
41.
Tyler Owens.
Tyler Owens was a badass.
Right.
He ran down as a gunner.
Yeah.
He didn't count as many snaps. I think he played like 6 maybe. Maybe
tackles.
7, but no, he was a dude. He was kind of special. Also, apologies to this dude, Colson Yankoff. We've been obviously, unfortunate last name. It's whatever. We've had a little fun with him. My deep dive after watching him this week on special teams, this guy is built like a brick shit house. He's athletic as shit. He's like a little bit like the dude the article mentioned down in New Orleans, not as athletic. Who's the quarterback, H-back, whatever guy, I forget. Where's number 7? He was as a high school football player, the #1 rated quarterback in the history of the state of Idaho. Two-way, like a dual threat, number 6 ranked in the country.
Player.
Turned down Oregon after their coach got fired, went to Washington, sat out a year, transferred to UCLA where he played running back, fullback, H-back, and wide receiver, as well as quarterback. Was their special teams player of the year, up for special teams finalist in the country that year. Dude, stop.
You hand out water to everybody too.
I'm just telling you.
The break.
And then, so he comes here, and now he's learning the H-back and tight end position for us, and he's playing specials, and he's a freak. He's a freak of nature. He's built like a brick shit
we
house.
have room
He
for
can
that
fly.
on our team.
This is what we're looking at. A physical specimen, and his interview, he's one of the best human beings you've ever heard talk. This dude he's a freaking incredible dude. I feel like a bad dude because I had a little too much to drink, and I started making Yankoff jokes all over the place. But it was gonna happen. It was bound to happen.
It's gonna happen, and I'm sure no one knows it better than him. But the tight end room, there's a spot for a guy. I mean, if you're choosing between him and Bates and Cole and
But he's the
guys,
H-back, so his
I'm saying
snaps got listed at RB.
he has more to
Right.
offer in that regard.
Right.
And you're not at this point in time. Are you desperate to hang on to a Cole Turner or John Bates because instead of taking a chance on a guy like Yankoff?
And also, as a special teams guy that can help out, there might be a spot for him. But as a guy that can do so many different things for you, and he's fast as shit, this dude is different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, holy moly, this guy's got some chops to him, man. He's a pretty serious cat. So he's someone I'm rooting for. I believe he might make it on the practice squad. I'm not saying he's going to catch live, but he's a guy that we've talked about, keep around, define a role for him, and within the framework of this new franchise that we root for, develop guys like that based on what we're trying to do.
Yep.
Taysom Hill. I couldn't think of his damn name.
New Orleans. I missed that. Obviously,
sorry,
he's my
my
guy.
bad.
I love him.
I'll say that's pretty passionate talk right there for preseason.
I'm rooting for him. I am. I'm
Right.
all in.
Lot
That's
of
why
feelings.
it's a different preseason.
He liked it more than he's
Yes.
leading off.
Well, I think he's
Well,
just.
I'm now a new fan of yank off.
Wait till Yankoff just lines up across from Butt. That'd be really weird.
There's other.
Go head to head, Yankoff.
There's other better ones than what I mean.
Jake Butt.
Well, Jake Butt is over there.
It's a tough name to grow up with.
Grady Dick might have him in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, that's a
Josh
different
Booty.
sport,
If Josh
but
Booty was on the
Yeah,
field,
it's true.
Booty and Yankoff matching up. I could probably think. We got to think of at least one more. Come on,
Reggie Ball.
Reggie Ball. There you go. Now you're
Yeah,
talking.
I know. Yeah. It's nuts, man.
It's totally nuts. Also, Johnny Scrotum. Is he still in the league?
I don't think so. I don't think he's still hanging around.
All right. Here's a little segment we have for the the overtime part of our show, the late night after dark portion of the show.
Dave Butts. There you go. Well, why do we miss that
I
one?
know,
Yeah.
that's great pull, J Dobbs.
Something for the honeys. Is this the late night portion of the evening, Ken?
This is the after hours
Hmm.
VIP room.
We need that. We
If
need
you've
that
made
horn.
it this far, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. All right, so tonight we're gonna do some over-unders. Nice graphics department. Where's our? There it is. Oh wait, you know what? I can.
First of
I
all,
can do that.
let's all agree that the left is correct and the right is not.
Let's all.
The left is correct.
It looks
Of the toilet paper situation
Yes.
here.
I'm also of the left.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. So,
Front to back or back to front?
well, I think it depends on what everyone ordered for dinner, obviously.
I request front to back.
All right. Here we
You
go.
wish is my command.
You can't request it. You
There are
gotta
perks to being a handicapped person, okay?
Yeah.
There's huge perks.
Here we go. Number one.
No one wants to get that.
Now,
on
these
the
are
road.
all active numbers on the worldwide gambling circuit. So these are the markets right this very second, up to like 2 hours ago. Jaden Daniels rushing yards 525.5. T goes first. This one.
I mean, you were the one that gave. Who was it? Who was
Sam.
Sam Howell 600
Sam
yards.
Howell's-
I still think we
I thought it was
underutilized
right
him in the
at
running
eight.
game.
I thought it was seven.
You
It was like
underutilized
7
him.
or 8.
Eight.
It
I
was
thought it was
8.
eight.
You're like,
No, it
You're about to
was
get 800
600.
yards. I was like,
600.
You're gonna give Jaden 525.
Well, this isn't me giving anyone anything.
I'm going over.
This is the market.
I know. I'm just giving you the crap, but I'm going over.
All right. So where's Tim's vote? All right. So here you go. There you go. Ooh, look at that guy.
oh my
he
God.
is
Nice.
handsome. He's going with the
Kinda
over.
chubby.
Is that Brett?
I don't know. It looks like.
T,
whoever
did you
it
get
is.
hit in the head?
Those are my drinking days.
No, you look different.
Uh,
Yeah.
That's
He's
my
wearing a tie.
That's my University of Maryland picture.
Yeah. I picked that one out. I liked it. I think the background is
I've
classic.
never ever seen a picture of T with one hair out of place, and there's a
Is
tuft.
my hair out of place?
There's a tuft. Do you see it?
I see it.
It's not
Top-
shadow.
top
It is.
left.
It
Is
comes,
that a shadow or is that a tuft out of place?
no. It's a couple. It's a little bit of. It's a spot of something.
You must have had a tough day.
Yeah. Well, I was wearing a suit. I hate wearing suits.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm going over, Kevin.
I'm going to go with the under, gentlemen.
All right. There's Kevin.
That's just that's terrible. That's 2 hairs out of place, 4 hairs out of place, and a whole fat goiter underneath my chin. Oh, that's the worst. Oh
There
my
you
God,
go.
give it to him.
Come on
See?
over, Ken. Come on over, Ken.
There you go.
Mm.
Jaden rushing yards. But I think at some point you have to we can't go over for everything, even though I kind of wanted to. So if we clear the deck, change up the category. How about the Jaden passing yards line? 3,025.5. This time you get to go first.
I take the over, and I'd be willing to shift around 500 yards with that exchange as well.
You think he's going to put the ball in the air?
Oh lordy, that's why I took the under on the rushing yards because
That was smart. but I'm going to go with the over too.
All right, we're all going with the over.
He's going to slaughter that number if healthy. So I mean, shit.
There you go.
Dude, 200
Why you
yards a
gonna put me
game.
right behind
200
your ass?
yards a game.
What,
200 yards a game out of Jaden Daniels.
I don't like that
Yeah,
position.
it's gotta be
right
more.
there.
It's 3,400 yards.
It's Cliff Kingsbury, everybody.
Come on, what the hell is this number? I should
They
bet.
brought.
I should bet my neck on that one.
We got a lot of overs on the board.
All right, here we go. Also, no, the source is if anyone's asking, Betting Pros, and I don't have a subscription to them, but they have the lines, and they try to charge you for their opinions about stuff. And I don't know if all these lines are active on all the betting platforms, but I did look it up, Betting Pros. So these are the lines as of today. Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, please. Okay. Next one up is Brian Robinson rushing yards, 675 and a half.
It seems low, but we got a lot of people back there. There's going to be a lot of sharing.
I'm gonna start the bidding off with an over, just because I do think he's gonna get a lot of carries.
I will also take the over. I believe he gets over 700 yards.
I'll be the one out.
Like-
I'll go. I just don't want to be behind Ken's
It's-
ass anymore. So please get me out. Yeah.
Good day.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
You
Deep
stay over
breath,
there,
deep breath,
sir.
deep breath.
See, this looks like a picture of you in 15 years.
Is that a big picture from the
Yeah, it's
future?
rough, dude. I mean, I'm 20-some years old in that picture.
It's a crazy picture, being honest. Look at the picture of me on the left. I mean, I'm not coming at you with hot fire.
What's
here.
that, high school?
No, that was the day or the week before the pandemic started.
Oh, jeez.
And now I put some weird cologne on my neck and it was swollen.
It's
Then I
swell- you got
then I
stung by some
Then I got
bees.
stung by
All
a swarm
those
of
bees.
bees
You had a
right before.
reaction?
Yeah, look, it made my hair stand up. It might have been electricity. I'm not sure.
There's a
My
lot of
my worst haircut.
No, I was that was like my deepest drinking
Why
days.
am I getting like? Well, oh my God! What was the movie?
You were getting Lord of the Rings references the whole time. For Sam Wise.
Adams, No. He's playing
Three
basketball.
names. Making it rain. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Wasn't a great movie.
He what did McCall put his face in?
He was
Polly, Along Came Polly.
Along Came Polly. That's what
I like that movie.
it was. Okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
Austin Eckler rushing yards 435.5.
I'm going to go ahead and say the under.
Yeah. I'm feeling undery there too, but
I just don't feel you guys tonight. I'm gonna go over.
all right, we're gonna move you over
I think
here.
we have a two-headed monster, to be honest with you. If everybody
Kevin
stays
is
healthy.
feeling undery.
That's a two-headed monster right there. Oh, but look, here comes the monster.
All right, so what are we thinking here?
You include
thinking-
Charlie, it's a two-headed
Put
monster.
him right there.
Oh God,
That's
look what just
a little
happened.
bit-
You said
But
now look
I-
what Charlie.
Bro, can you
we're
please?
Oh
gonna,
no, you can't.
we're gonna say-
no. That's disturbing.
we're just gonna call that a big fat
Yeah.
under the towel scenario for Kevin there. And if Jaden Daniels is the reason why Austin Eckler does not get the
Oh
over
my
here.
God, I'm left eye Lopez right now.
Your left eye. All right, how about this one? I had to do this to help myself out. Jahan Dotson receiving yards 540.5. I looked for it. I was looking for a place to bet what I think it's going to be.
No, I'm under.
Yeah.
You
Under.
show me something. I'm not just
I'm
going to predict you're going to do
under.
something when you haven't done anything. And I like you.
He's
I
not
don't
showing any
dislike you.
reason.
I know. I want him to. I'm looking forward to it.
Prove
it's
us
like
wrong.
Steph Curry in the Olympics. I know you're about to, but I don't know that about him. So under.
Prove it wrong.
Oh God.
How about a little shower can sandwich for the under? I hope exact. Prove us wrong. I think he could have a productive season if he gets the under. Like I think we all agree he's going to get the under, and if he does, I think he could still be productive if he gets back to being a guy who catches big balls in the end zone, like he did rookie year, and start hauling in long passes for 6 points.
All the stories about his amazing hands, his tremendous route running ability. Let's see him.
We saw it the first year.
I
Saw
agree.
flashes
I
of it.
agree. Let's get this done consistently to a degree that
Wait.
helps the squad.
Hold on. Is this late breaking?
I don't
Manor
know what
Sticky
that,
says
yeah,
traded.
I don't know if I was
No,
going to
no.
give
I
that.
think he's suggesting that because I've gotten that feeling a tad bit myself. I feel like he's a bit in the doghouse. I feel like he might be the
Yes.
odd man out. I don't know if he fits.
Is it because he's the little guy,
I
and that's
think
why we
so.
bring in 6'4"
Yes.
Martavis?
100%.
Bryant.
Well, also,
Martavis.
if you give Cliff a wingspan like that in the option route, like Dan Quinn said multiple times, where you can throw away from the option route, blah blah, in the inches, and we don't have the height right now. We don't have a guy that can stretch the field. How do you say?
Vertically.
I still
no,
think,
but is it vertically?
Yeah.
to
for
this
sure.
day, I'm still blown away.
Vertically is like down
North.
the
I'm still
You always wanna go
blown away
north.
by the way Ralph Regin used Joey in as a tight end at 6'8", doing that little just in the end zone, in the red zone, right between the goalposts, throw it as high as you can and let him go get it. I was like, that's like not even fair.
It's not. And Larry Fitzgerald was doing a bit of it back in the day, and they love shit like that. Obviously, the league does too. Martavius hasn't played since 2018, but 2 months on the Dallas Cowboy practice squad last year, going up against Dan Quinn's defense. He took a peek at this guy.
He also played in the California Penal Leagues a few years ago with Ricky Vaughn and a couple other guys.
Well, I will tell you this: he's lost 22 pounds since he played last, and he on the first day of practice today, in the first run game, in the block he had, mauled his dude. And everyone took attention.
That'll get you
to that.
hired.
Everyone paid attention to that. He made sure he went out there. I think it was, hey, man, get out there and show everyone why the hell you're here. And he did. So I believe it's not about his pass-catching ability, although we will use his talents, like Dan Quinn said. We will find out what he does best and exploit that. Until then, watch him in the run game, working dudes with his big frame.
Well, that also ties into the daily soap opera that the Brandon Ayuk thing has turned into, where at this point in time, anyone that knows anything would say we're nowhere even close to the situation, and I believe that. But I also believe that as long as he's not traded anywhere else, that there's no possibility he could end up here. And I'm not even saying whether I want him here now. I start to like not want that drama and that whole thing. But Jahan Dotson may be in the clubhouse doghouse feeling that we're getting. Can we? Because one thing we haven't degraded his value. No one's out there really like bad mouthing him. He didn't have a great game, but for him to be potentially involved, San Francisco allegedly is wanting a wide receiver in return, like right now, and Amari Cooper I know was offered with Cleveland, and Kendrick Bourne was offered with the Patriots. I think Jahan Dotson is as good as any of those guys, and I also think that
his upside sure as hell is.
His upside
so is his
sure as hell
contract.
is.
And his contract is also.
So San Francisco wins multiple ways. So I again, not to just beat on this Brandon Ayuk thing, but the thing about I keep coming back to this idea that like he only wants to come here. He only wants to come here. Like he
wants to be with his boy.
He's submarined all the other deals.
Yeah.
And he's becoming very quickly persona non grata, because freaking Shanahan's already prickly enough. This is the situation. He's not going to be able to play nice with Brandon Ayuk.
That's why we have Martavius on the cheap instead of him. But moving forward, we're going to find our version of one of them, and it's not going to be either of them. But we're going to find a big, fast dude.
Thought Kaz Allen, he always pops off the screen, as does Oz. I mean, these guys.
Doubt.
These
but
guys.
Think of some of these big time offenses we've seen, and let's get into it here. I mean, Jalen Hurts bringing AJ into town was a monster deal. How about Tom Brady throwing 50 to
Randy?
To Randy, like
does it make you Randy?
50 with Randy, getting 20 of them, like those things. That's when you can get those toys. We're not ready for that toy yet.
That's right.
We almost got talked into it, but that was fine because those toys are fun. But
yes. Yeah, so
you can't put the horse before the cart. Let's get in there and play some good football. Develop our run game and our run stop. That's what we got to do first, because we never did that under Rivera. We never did that under Rivera. We never did it.
Never did it under Bieniemy.
No,
not even close.
No, we had no chance. To be fair, we had a bunch of Boy Scouts going up. We had slingshots, and they had all that other fun tech. Oh,
as good as obviously Mahomes is also next level. But I think like Travis Kelce is to have somebody that good at tight end. I mean, you lose Tyreek Hill and you still win Super Bowl. I mean, like Travis Kelce is like that. We don't have anything as close to that. That's why Bieniemy never had a chance.
Does.
Well, but I'll tell you this is the magic of, because I went to my fantasy football digest last week thinking about Pat Mahomes. What happened to their offense is majestic. Pat Mahomes threw 30 touchdown passes. I think 4 were over 20 yards, maybe 5.
And there were like 10 guys that caught him.
22 touchdown passes within 0 to 9 yards for the minimum amount of points. He threw 22. He threw 90% of his touchdown passes last year. He never. I think he had 1 plus 40 play all year long. He did. So they were earning every freaking 4 yards. Travis Kelce didn't.
He's getting tackled 10 times a drive. He catches. He had those games with like 16, 17 catches. Yeah. They're just dumping to him. He gets mauled in the middle of the field to get another first down. But I also think
we're gonna be airing it out.
Yep. I think you're right, sir.
That's going
to be fun, too. And running the ball. Because Cliff Kingsbury proved. Listen, that's what I like about our guys, getting after it in the run game.
Did they have David Johnson with him at all?
No.
With Cliff Kingsbury out in Arizona?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
But I know this. He learned after year 1 in the NFL, you can't just pitch it around the yard and not get your ass whooped. You got to, and he mentioned that. Not my, exactly, his words. So I enjoy it. And by the way, no one's saying Dotson is as good as Amari Cooper. We're saying Dotson cost 80 gazillions on the back end of a career. He's a speed demon that gets it done. We got to have Dotson do something.
Cooper's definitely paid more than Dotson, I guess.
I'm just saying the high end is Dotson's upside, his contract, and blah, blah,
Oh, yeah. I think Dotson has a ton of value.
If it was all things even.
The 49ers, it solves all the 49ers issues in terms of money. They have too many guys to pay.
If Dotson's the guy we think he could be.
Yeah. Well, I'm not trying to chase him out of town just quite yet.
No, not at all. We got to develop guys like this. This is what we got to do
But
defensively
De'Ami Brown,
also.
that's the other thing. That's the beauty for a guy like De'Ami Brown. When you get a new coaching staff into town, which we've seen happen frequently, and in fact, across all of our franchises, quite frankly, here in DC. But that's the beauty of young rosters that are in constant rebuild. This Dan Quinn gets a fresh look at everybody. Everyone assumes De'Ami Brown is behind Jahan Dotson because of whatever. But not with Dan Quinn, not on day one.
I think he did.
Dan Quinn even said in his conference, I don't know what about the last regime, but what I'm seeing a dude that's competing.
Exactly.
I'm seeing a dude that's doing everything we're asking him to do. And I don't know if De'Ami just a switch has switched in him and he realizes he needs to kick it into gear because he's definitely done something different.
And maybe this is the staff for him and maybe developing talent. That's how we start off here, because the name I'm going to say to you guys, I'm still standing behind him. I know he needs work. He's unrefined, but Emmanuel Forbes, we have to under team control for 3 of the next 4 years. Did he get his ass toasted? Yes, he did. Is he bad in this vertical game? I believe they're talking about him over the top, getting his hips and not finding in space where he. Well, guess what?
He started off strong until the touchdown.
We have Joe Witt here. We have Dan Quinn here, and we have to be about developing him too. He's ours for the better part of the next 3 to 4 years, depending on how it goes.
Got to develop
this
him.
guy has such speed, length, and ability, and I understand, but everyone in this era wants to just quit on our guy. I get it. He's stunk. I love the dude. I think he's going to be a special player. I do. I really do. He stunk, and he has stunk. He's got to step up. Him and Jahan Dotson have to show what they got.
Yep.
But I think Forbes isn't the guy to worry about the effort and the physicality. He just got to figure out some shit and where he is in space and how to work on his footwork. He needs a Joe Witt. But I'm telling you, a guy like that in his ear for a year, and next thing you know, when Benjamin St. Juste doesn't get re-signed, we have a guy sitting right here ready to jump right in, or Michael Davis doesn't get re-signed, we have a guy ready. And that's what we need to do for next year is develop this guy
and
now.
Also probably draft another corner.
Agreed, especially if he stinks and doesn't get there, which is a possibility. I just think he will.
It highlights also, you just named 3 guys who are recent first-round draft picks. Emmanuel Forbes. Well, you said 2. Emmanuel Forbes, Jamin Davis, and why am I give me the third?
I just said Emmanuel Forbes.
Yep.
On the offensive side, Jahan Dotson.
Emmanuel Forbes, Jahan Dotson, and Jamin Davis. It's an uninspiring group of first-rounders out of the chute, even though Jahan Dotson probably had the best first year of all of them.
Unfortunately, he did.
And neither or none of them have separated themselves from their class. Really elevating to first round draft pick status. For a few years into their careers. So Dan Quinn and that coaching staff can develop, even if they get one of those three guys. And I think that would be a huge
benefits us greatly
huge benefit.
at the corner position on a first round
Manuel Ford would be
contract.
my pick too.
It benefits us greatly if we can get him up to the level.
Yep. If we can only get one of those three guys, I think Emmanuel Forbes would be my pick as well.
And he certainly is far away from that right now.
Mm-hmm.
That surprises me.
And he's not a starter. He's not starting for us.
And it's not his level of effort. He just got he picked off everything in college. He took it all back to the house. He was grabbing everything.
Yep.
Get out there and start grabbing some shit, buddy.
The back end of our defense, we don't spend a ton of time on it because we talk about Chin a lot. Obviously, Percy Butler played a lot of downs back there. We're going to see Derek Forrest in reserve role as well.
Owens played the most snaps back there.
Owens played number
They
40
love
this
this
there
dude.
all day.
He played 34
He showed
snaps.
out on special teams.
Dominique Hampton played 27.
Yep.
Jeremy Reeves 22, and then Quan 14 with Butler at 13, Chin at 7. Those are our safeties.
Here's the I forgot I had at least one more. Yeah,
There we go.
last one.
Let's go.
Terry receiving yards 900.5. Interestingly, I believe this was the same line
He's been over it every year.
last year at this exact time. And I think it must be like the starting line for a quote unquote wide receiver one, in a offense that people expect to throw the ball a lot like we do. 900.5 seems to be that number. It's like what do you think? Are you want to go over or under that? Terry's gone over it consistently. So
And he's going to do
Way
it
over.
again.
No,
I believe that he will win.
Get it over there.
I really want to. I want to punch that guy in the face badly.
This
the
gives us
one on
another
the far
shot.
right. Far right.
How about those guys?
Oh no, I don't want to punch those guys.
Dude, hold on. You know what? I gotta line this up a little bit.
I thought we
better.
were on the other side of the screen, though.
Oh yeah,
we're
you know
all
what? You're
over
right.
it. Yeah,
Whoop,
scoot it over.
my fault. Oh, T.
Oh God, look what's gonna happen to T.
T.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm very,
oh no!
very,
oh no!
very sorry.
Don't do it.
Wow. Look, it seems like you're kind of peeking around me. You're like, hey,
Yeah, stinks.
what's going on over here? We're in a tie, for God's sake.
Did you wash that ass that time?
Oh yeah. Oh,
You better have.
yeah. At Motel 6. That's soap. Never knew what hit
You
it.
can't wash that soap out of your ass.
No,
It's there for
that
at
soap-
least 6 to 8 weeks.
That soap needed some soap. A lot of soap. Terry will smash that. Yeah, I mean, I
Is he
think
talking about the yardage or you?
oh Lord.
he's talking about the yardage.
Okay, just want to be sure.
By the way.
But the
By the way, that's in the day of branding. What I'm looking at right here, the picture of the three of us is the least brandable. Oh my God. You've got a thick neck? You look 20 years older than you actually are? You're half naked with a furry chest? Call First Amendment.
Furry chest.
Do you guys own a DeLorean by chance? Guessing you do. Miami Dolphins on tap this week. Nobody gives a crap about winning or losing the game because the standings don't matter. I wouldn't mind. How about we just say situationally down the stretch? I'd love to see our guys situationally convert. So we'll see. Miami Dolphins a tough out. I'd love to see some of those guys play. Fantasy football season coming up. That offense is outrageously. I mean, I don't know why people sleep on the average NFL fan. Maybe I'm making this up, but it just feels like the Miami Dolphins are an afterthought. People get past the Chiefs and the Niners and the Packers and the Bills and the Bengals but like Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle.
They had some really bad losses.
They did. And they
Why?
also
It was so
scored
weird.
70 points.
They're
so weird.
I think that's why. They're completely unpredictable, as is their coach, even though he maintains a low profile. He seems to do some crazy-ass stuff. I don't know.
Mike McDaniels is so fun. So anyways, wait, hold on. Someone says we got to go. T looks like the
It's a
Love
good
Wrenches.
Love American
That's a good
style,
one.
or like an extra from the NFL in the Love Boat.
I know Eddie has his other one was it looked like
Was
a
T in the
used
show
car
Happy
salesman in
Days?
circa 1990. Who was that? Yeah, it was NES.
Well, that's pretty funny. And you know what else I have to mention right now?
I'm sorry, Eric Anderson said that.
There you
That
go.
was
There he is.
top salesman for
Jerry's Ford.
There you go. It didn't. It looked weird. I'm not gonna lie. But what isn't weird is there's less than 3,000 professional football players in this league. 25 of them are from the top 5 teams in our football conference in the WCAC in camp right now.
Yeah.
That's why we do
That's a
what we do.
remarkable number. 25, all 5 schools represented. 25 guys in NFL camps right now in the division, and there's a couple guys from Carroll out there in the mix as well. So we are well represented up in this mix in this National Football League with dudes from all 3 of our high schools in our conference, and we're getting ready to crank that up again.
This is why we do what we do on Saturdays during the football season. I gave up doing Maryland. I loved doing that for the longest time with Johnny and all that, going to the big stadiums and everything. But I absolutely love being with you two on a Saturday, watching great high school football, so we can watch these young men grow up and then go to the next 2 levels and watch their careers. And as you said, there's a ton of them.
Holy
It's
moly.
great. You guys got to join us on Saturdays.
It's
During the
August 31st, game 1. Roman Catholic travels down from
Philadelphia, the Catholic League, the PSA.
PSA
The Philadelphia they're a big deal, man.
they are. They're a fine program heading down 95.
Marvin Harrison Sr. played there as well.
That's right. Playing, they'll be hosted by the St. John's Cadets over on Military Road. This guy went there.
There's no better example of what this league can provide you than Andrew over the pond right now, AGH, who came over to America, found us in our nation's capital, and got to watch Caleb Williams as a junior, I believe, against DeMatha, which also had DeMarco Helms and some other guys that are on these.
Nick
NFL
Cross,
Nick Cross.
DeMarco, 3 NFL dudes.
And AGH goes back
in
to
the
Wales,
secondary.
and they think he's an absolute football savant because he's talking about this guy, Caleb Williams, for years before he was even now as well known as he is.
He was 16 that day.
That was amazing.
And also, to get back to what you were saying, Ken, when Roman Catholic comes down to St. John's, First Amendment Sports and the Knights of Columbus hosting a canned food drive for the USO USA, the servicemen and sailors will benefit. The former veteran servicemen and sailors of our United States military are who benefits from the canned food drive between St. John's, First Amendment Sports, and the Knights of Columbus. We got that rocking and rolling on August 31st.
It's just cool to be part. I mean, obviously, I'm bringing cans of food, of course, but that's the coolest thing ever.
We're gonna have that Scantron. We're gonna have to drop it. We're gonna have what you guys know what I'm talking about, that magical scan thing. That's
yeah.
Bloop. Yeah, I'll take all your money, sir.
All of it.
Well, how about just $5 for some canned food?
Yeah, I'm absolutely.
We should get Rick Lane to help us put up a skin for the canned food drive during the game.
During the game, we absolutely could do that. Rick, I hope you're watching. But we'll get the word to you. Of course, he's watching. All right, everybody. That about does it for us for tonight. We'll be back next Tuesday night to talk about the game that was between Washington and Miami on the road. Last preseason game is that a home game? We can't possibly have all away preseason games, can we? Home against Baltimore.
I think
close it out. Or
I think we're at Baltimore for some reason.
For some reason
And
I had
then
in my
we're
head.
home.
But no, we don't have 4 preseason games.
No, 3.
Just 3.
Yeah.
So
I have no idea, to be fair with you.
all right, good.
Because
I don't
as
either.
I've said in the past,
Yes.
the preseason we can have a moment, the preseason.
Yeah.
and
It's all about moments.
I just want to snuggle the preseason. I don't want to get serious.
When's first cuts?
It's after the final preseason game because remember this year there's a space. We have Labor Day weekend off.
And
Opening day is not until the Thursday the 5th and Sunday the 8th.
AGH is asking Marshawn Lloyd. He got drafted. He did get drafted.
Yeah,
He was a
by
fifth
the
round,
Green
right?
Bay Packers.
Yes.
He's slated to get carries.
Yes.
Josh Jacobs, I
He
believe,
was in
is our
that game
starter.
as well. That's why
Yes.
Andrew's bringing it up.
Yes, he was. And there's about 3 other dudes that are going to be in the NFL next year that were in that game. They're playing linebacker.
One of the guys who was played in the
Barmore,
game
the
against us,
linebacker. Yeah.
and the
Fashanu was in that game.
Fashanu. We just saw him. I believe he went off sides.
He also played great. Everyone that double checked his, watched his tape. Bunch of O linemen got in the mix and gave him nice shout outs. Like, come on, man.
Ken Harris needs his team mom fix, by the way.
Oh, for goodness sake. When he's right, and he always is, he's right. Where is it? There she is.
Here we go. Greg Martin. All cuts, 4 p.m. on the 27th.
I guess I like that.
53
There's
and
no need to
10,
cut.
Or 15 or 10 on the practice. 53 on the. Olu Fashanu was the starting left tackle. Caleb Williams was the quarterback. Marshawn was the
running back,
tailback for DeMatha.
Golden Chilumba.
Yeah. Golden was there. He's still at Penn State.
Oh, he's still
exactly.
Penn State. Okay.
He will be in the league. Also, the sophomore that went to transfer to St. Francis came back and plays. Is at Maryland right
you
now?
Said Nick Ross, right?
Barmore.
He's not. He transferred to Michigan.
Damn, Jay
Can you
Sean.
believe that?
Well, yes, because he's transferred every 2 years for his entire
that's
football
true.
career. The guys that like to do that. I like to stay at the same place.
Yeah.
Nick Cross. You said Nick
Man,
Cross,
that's
right?
a lot
Nick
of talent.
Cross.
Nick Cross.
That's a lot of talent in that game that still hasn't made it to the NFL, and they will.
Yeah.
Dominic Logan Neely. Maybe not, but he'll be remembered forever. As will this Tuesday night. There she is in all her glory for Ken Harris on the middle of the screen. Another week of preseason feelings to let out. Kevin's slowly getting in touch with them. Just give him some time, everybody. He's gonna get there.
I'm open to exploring new things this preseason.
T is very excited to hear that.
I love the great feeling we're all having.
There you go.
It feels different.
It feels different.
Feels just even though it's
Am
preseason.
I making out with Team Mom yet?
We're still
You're looking
preseason, but
deeply
it's
into her
exciting,
eyes.
boys. It's exciting. Can't wait to talk to you about it next week.
On behalf of First Amendment
Thank
Sports,
you guys.
I'm Ken Meringolo. Have a good week.
And
We'll
happy
see you
football
next
season.
week.
I love this. It's about to get fun as hell with you guys. We're gonna have some fun stuff to talk about. We really are.
Let's get a little bit of
Detached.
You're right, AGH. Golden the Chumba got hurt. And
Olu's dad
helped
carried him around.
helped him get back to the bench.
We're still live.
Good man, Mr. Fashanu.
Appreciate
Shout
it,
out.
man. Ever speaking.
Nah, you guys make it a great show. You guys make it fun. Appreciate the hell out of this crew, dude.
Let's do it all over again next week.
I got nowhere to be next Tuesday.
Gotta clap it out first.
I do.
EO.
Right here in the basement.
Yeah, I'll be right here.
DP.
Still alive.